I call the member for Leichhardt.
Thank you very much indeed, Madam Deputy Speaker. Australia has recently commemorated the 75th anniversary of the bombing of Darwin. However, there's another northern outpost that was also very heavily targeted, yet barely rates a mention in Australian history books. I'm talking about the bombing of Horn Island in the Torres Strait, which was the second hardest hit base in Australia after Darwin. On March the 14th, 1942, Japanese fighter planes targeted Horn Island as part of their campaign to cripple military positions in northern Australia. Local historian Vanessa C. Key says the island's aerodrome was a strategic but vulnerable operational base for Australian and Allied forces when the first raid took place. Coast watchers in southern New Guinea managed to alert the troops on Horn Island of the impending raid when they spotted a large formation flying en route to the Torres Strait. The government had earlier evacuated residents from the island in anticipation of an attack, but nearby civilian contractors witnessed the mid-air duel between 8 Japanese Betty bombers and 12 Zeros and about 9 US Kitty Hawks. While the Allied forces were outnumbered, they still managed to ward off the raid. Horn Island was attacked 8 more times by the Japanese over the next 16 months, and about 500 bombs were dropped targeting the airfield. Tragically, 156 people died in active service on or around the island, along with 86 civilians and crew on board the ship, the Mamatu, when it was sunk by Japanese submarines on the 7th of August 1942. While historians and media releases focus on the attacks on Darwin, Broome, Port Hedland and Townsville, the Torres Strait is often overlooked. On this 75th anniversary of the first bombing of Horn Island, it's time Australia gave an appropriate level of recognition to this event. Today in the Australian Parliament, I honour the sacrifices that were made by the people of the Torres Strait and pay tribute to the vital role they played in repelling the Japanese forces. Without their resistance, the history books today could tell a very different story. I'd also like to acknowledge that on the 1st of March 2018, we will commemorate the 75th anniversary of the establishment of the Torres Strait Light Infantry Battalion, the only Indigenous Australian battalion ever formed by the Australian Army. 870 Torres Strait Islander men joined ranks, about 1/5 of the population of the Torres Strait at the time, serving alongside 5,000 non-Indigenous troops. The battalion represented a significant contribution to the Australian war effort, and today there are only 2 surviving members, Mr Mebai Warrisam, who lives on Saibai Island, and Mr Awati Mao at Bamaga. I look forward to honouring the contribution of the battalion members in 2018.